All right.
Well, Pat, I don't know about you, but I'm ready.
Okay, I figured that. All right.
Hit it.
All right. Welcome back to Georgia Peachcast, coming to you from Cherokee County, Georgia. This is Pat.
And this is Gregg.
Today our guest is Stephen Rogers. He's running for County Commissioner District 4. Welcome, Steve. Why don't you give us a little background on who you are, where you're from, that kind of thing, and then follow up with maybe some thoughts on what your key subjects, objections,
primary issues
that you're going to when you get elected,
which may or may not have to do with a primary.
May not.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all right.
Right.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here. As you heard, yes, I am Steve Rogers. You can call me your friendly neighborhood Captain America.
There you go.
I love it. I always like to lean
Captain
into
Rogers.
It. Exactly, especially for the kids. The kids, when they find out my name, they always like, "Oh, you Captain America." They always get a kick out of it, especially when I when I go and visit new places.
Yeah.
Everyone figures out like, "Oh, you know you're Captain America?" It's like, of course.
Yeah.
You can call me Cap. That's how I find my friends. So, I've been here for about 5 years now. I moved here a few years ago to be back close to my wife's family. But both my wife and I are Georgia natives.
Okay.
Originally from...
It's kind of a rare breed in the metro Atlanta area.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife is originally from Norcross.
Okay.
And I'm down in Augusta, Washington, Georgia. But
gotcha.
I do call my hometown Aiken, South Carolina, and Hendersonville, North Carolina.
Okay.
Then we moved around a bit because of my dad's work.
Okay.
So I did move a few little places, but that's where I kind of...
Yeah, I'm familiar with Aiken. My grandparents used to live there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
I have to go check them out.
Yeah, when they retired, one of my grandfather's things was, I have to go down and walk the hallowed grounds of the masters. You know? And so that's what he did. He went down there, and he was too old to play golf, but he loved walking around there.
Yeah, that's all right. Every good Southerner makes a pilgrimage to the Masters at least once.
Well, we're from upstate New York, so and that was a different kind of pilgrimage.
Yeah, that's all right.
But no, it's a nice area. I really liked it. It's got a nice feel to it.
Yeah, it's actually quite similar to Cherokee County. It's got a lot of horses, a lot of open land, and you know, just some industry to keep things going.
Right.
And it's real close to a big town, Augusta and/or Columbia. So it's kind of like here.
So you're comfortable in Cherokee, partly probably because of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my first Cub Scout pack, Scout or Cub Master was a farmhand. And one of the first things I got to do as a Wolf Scout was go clean the stalls.
Yes, mucking. You did some mucking,
so I could ride the horse.
That's good.
Yeah, I got a picture of that.
Everyone has to pay their dues.
Yep. But I've made my rounds in the Carolinas. I moved up here from Charleston with my 3 kids. I've got one at, I guess 2 now at Etowah.
Congratulations.
I just had one graduate out of E.T. Booth.
Okay.
Or I guess move up.
Yeah, I'm an educator, so and I'm an older educator, so I'm like, graduating from elementary school, middle school, not sure. But every generation is different, so.
Yeah. And then I have my youngest daughter still at Bascom, so I got 3 kids in the system.
Yeah.
And I've been a PTA at the Booth and Etowah for a few years now. I just finished my vice president term at Booth.
There you go.
But I'm still on the fundraising / spirit wear committee at Etowah, and I'll continue that.
Okay. Yeah.
Mostly because I can get into football games for free when I do.
There you go. Yeah. As a retiree, I get to do the same thing. So.
Oh man, but it's a great way to get out and go talk to kids.
And meet a lot of people, parents, the parents especially. I guess especially if you're running.
Yeah,
so I think that's good.
Been doing it for a few years now. Look forward to doing it again in the fall, except for having to deal with all that heat.
Oh yeah, now
those first couple of nights can get pretty hot.
Oh yes, they can. Yeah. But when my son was in the marching band, and so one of my volunteer gigs was I would run the grill.
Oof.
At a game that they were playing at, and man, that was hot.
Yeah.
But that's Georgia.
Though. Yeah.
We don't call it hot Atlanta for nothing, right? So
I mean, you call it that. I don't say that. But I mean, I always try to go over to the band side because for those of you listening, the band side is on the visitor side, which means you have to walk across and around and down to get down there.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So to get your burger and chips from them, which I think is their fundraiser.
It is a huge fundraiser for them. They make a lot of money off of those concessions, which is good, you know, and and let's see, in the off season when there's other events, sometimes they'll run it as well, you know, for the same reason. So, so that's a nice synopsis of who you are, where you're from, and where you are right now. So when you get into office, what do you think are the top 3 issues that are most important to address on the PSC?
That's honestly there's a lot to address.
Of course there is.
So I guess my number one thing would be stopping these developers from getting all these variances.
Yeah.
I mean, just like on the 92 and Priest Road project, they're applying for 22 variances, which cut the buffer zone down, cut the environment or increase our environmental impacts,
right?
Decrease the amount of parking they have to apply for, and just trying to cram in there what is an R40 and R20 area,
right?
And so they're gonna put this 5-stack apartments right next to these homes like that,
right?
And it's like, maybe could we not do all the variances and maybe just stick a three stack, because I can't stop it, right?
Right.
But what I can stop, or at least attempt to stop,
right,
is all the different variances,
right.
That are impactful to the surrounding community, that mess up the environment, that mess up our character, that mess with people's property values.
Yeah, and traffic.
Yeah.
That's one of my big things when the developers come in is how are they improving the infrastructure that's going to be impacted by them building that place there.
Right.
So, being a former school teacher, I'm a big fan of sidewalks.
Yeah.
So, but no, I agree with you. I think making sure that we're covering those things that impact the people already living there are really, really important.
Yeah.
So
definitely. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I moved here, was that it's reasonably close to Atlanta, and it's great here in Cherokkee. We've got a great environment, we've got great air quality, we've got a great environment.
Right.
And I want to try to preserve that character while we're here.
Yeah. I mean, I live right down the road, and I agree with you 150%.
Yeah.
So definitely not a negative 600%.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that. Love to learn your vote.
I have to get my zingers in one way or another.
Let's see. All right,
boy.
The next big thing is try to get the spending under control. It's like just the other week, the commissioners voted to spend $5 million on 5 acres of land. I mean,
wow,
yeah.
Really, $1 million an acre?
Yeah, just about.
Is there a gold mine there, or
no? They just want to put a parking lot there.
That is kind of a gold mine, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not my gold mine.
I know it's not mine either, but that old song comes up: "Paved paradise, put up a parking lot."
Yeah, and I'm just like, are we really putting in the thought and effort to? Are we being fiscally responsible with our budget money right now?
Right.
When we're spending all this money?
Right.
And I'm just like, I feel like we should do more investigation, especially when we're going to spend that much money. I feel like we're almost cashing someone out there.
Well, yeah. I think that's a very important thing to look into, because, one of the things we talk a lot about is taxes.
Right.
And, most voters who bother thinking about it are okay with taxes as long as they see the taxes working for them.
Right.
And that's a case of when you start to see things that look like, I don't know, backroom deals,
Yeah.
It kind of puts a sour taste in your mouth for paying taxes.
Yeah. I mean, it's not all bad. I know her listeners at home are like, oh, God. But there are some good things that we do spend our money on. Just the other week, we just spent in a couple, I think it's about $2 million on a 8-year project that's been a drug rehab program.
Right.
And they just graduated like 20 different people through that program, where they got clean, they got job education, and they got jobs. And they're all living on their own now. It's like they had several success stories.
Oh my God, that is so much better than having homeless people.
Exactly. I mean, they didn't put these abusers in jail.
Right.
And then they actually worked with them to bring them up. I was like, this is great. This is what real community power can do.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought up the community aspect of that, because these are members of our community, and the question is, are we truly trying to help them, or are we just trying to put a Band-Aid on it?
Exactly. And this was like real great effort. I mean,
Yeah.
I wish I had the full notes in front of me, but maybe I do. I try, for listeners at home, I try to keep everything on me as best I can, but apparently not this time. But I'll let you know when I get those notes out.
Yeah, no, I think that would be great. If you've got a link to that information, I can put it in the show notes too.
Yeah.
So for interested listeners.
Yeah. And so the third big thing is, everyone loves to complain about traffic, right? And
No, come on.
No.
I've never
I've
never complained about traffic behind the wheel since the last 3 hours.
There you go. When I'm out in my car, I don't complain about it too much either. But, why does everyone travel, right?
Well, to get from point A to point B.
Well, most people travel because they have to get to work, right?
That's exactly right.
Most of my neighbors don't either they work remote,
right,
or they have jobs down in Sandy Springs or Roswell or down in Atlanta.
Okay.
I only have 2 neighbors that actually work here in county, and they're teachers.
Right.
And I'm like, this is why we have so much traffic problem. All the jobs are down in Atlanta.
That's right.
I mean, we have a whole industrial park down on 92. We could try to get more investment in there, try to get more businesses in there.
Yeah.
There's land opening up in the northwest corridor. Maybe we could try to get some industry in there so people don't have to travel so damn far for a job.
That's exactly right, yeah.
I mean, why not live, work, and play here in Cherokee instead of just living and playing?
Well, anytime you have an hour-plus commute, that is, that is 1/8 of your day, your waking day, call it 16 hours, that you are not with your family.
Exactly.
When you could be if you live closer.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
and so, or enjoying your town. I mean, if you're not driving all that time, you're doing other things that enhance your life. So I think that's really important.
Yeah, I mean, I see it in the parent participation at PTA and scout level.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, parents are coming home tired and exhausted, and they just don't want to do anything more with their kids at that point because they're like, some are juggling 2 jobs now.
Yeah.
On top of these commutes, I'm just like, no wonder these kids have depression issues. They see this coming. I mean, I guess that's been my 4th thing is that I work a lot with the kids and I ask them, hey, what are you excited to do? You're going to be an adult in a few years. What do you hope to do? What kind of career would you like? And they're like, and they give me responses. Well, I'm going to have to move, or I'm going to have to go do this. I got some prospects, but I just don't particularly see myself living in the county.
Right.
Because my job opportunities are either down in Sandy Springs or they got contracting jobs down out towards Bartow and such.
Right.
I've been able to keep it with a handful of my scouts that have graduated, and there's only one so far that has gotten work here in Cherokee.
Right.
And I'm like, of the 15 that have gone on, that they've kind of moved on out, and they're kind of still in the region, but they're still not living in the area. So if you're listening, guys, I'm very proud of y'all still for getting out there and making it. I'm extremely proud that we've given you the lessons because that's a real community lift too.
Well, yeah, and we want all of our graduates to launch,
right?
And preferably by many degrees, in something they're truly interested in doing.
Yeah,
instead of just working to make a paycheck.
Yeah. So my most recent one just graduated from the Air Force Academy.
Fantastic. That's a great pathway.
I'm sorry, boot camp.
Boot camp. Yep.
Yeah, he's going to be an aviation engineer.
That's awesome.
So
that is
real proud of him. Good job, Jackson. Proud of you. I'll let you know.
What I'm saying is, hearing aid is not working, so now I'm deaf and blind both.
No, you're not. You're not blind.
That's rough, man.
You just have to see different.
Half blind. No, Stephen, that's fine. I just letting you know. I'm here.
Yeah.
Again, this is not about me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is about me.
Just imagine a handsome man sitting right here.
That's a good one. So, what are some things that you think are important that we haven't touched on yet? And so when you look at the cost of energy for Georgians, what are some of the things that concern you about the way energy is produced, distributed, and charged? I guess.
I guess the main thing is that I've listened to people and I've heard people say that they want to try to get solar in.
Right.
And we've got the Q Cells, which is up the road, which is manufacturing the latest model of solar cells coming up. And I'm like, this could be.
I had no idea they were right there. Where are they located?
Up, I think just on the north side of Bartow.
Okay.
Up 75.
Okay.
And
I've seen that factory from the air, actually.
Yeah.
Years ago when they were building it.
Which factory?
Q Cells.
It's a solar panel factory.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Q cells.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, this seems like a real opportunity to invest locally for people to get solar cells and boost the local economy, right?
Yeah. Well, and just going back to what you're saying about jobs.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, it seemed like a win-win-win there.
Yeah.
But there are some regulations in the way that I've heard people having arguments or discussions with Georgia Power trying to get them installed.
Right.
That they're delaying them or,
No, Georgia Power wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Of course not. I mean, I am on the Cobb version of it. Thank you.
Oh, the Cobb EMC one?
Thank you. Yes.
Me too. I've got a 20 panel array in my side yard.
Oh, nice.
And because I own a lot to the side of me. And my wife and I decided to drop a solar array on there back in 2016. And Cobb EMC is absolutely fantastic. They're doing it right because they do net metering. So for those of you listening, net metering means when I generate power that goes into the grid, they pay me the exact same amount of money that I pay them when I'm drawing power from it.
Okay, really?
So it's the most fair way to do because
Yeah.
we're both electrical generators. So there you go.
Yeah.
And so that works out really well for me. So is that, and I believe Georgia Power does it where they sell you at retail and they pay you at wholesale, I think.
I'm not clear on that, but I'll try to get some clarification on that.
Right.
But this seems like, it's a great way for us to invest locally and people to lower their power bills.
Yeah.
And
to even out, disruption.
Yeah.
I
mean, especially with I love my trees and I hope they don't fall. But, these recent round of storms, again, it's knocking down power lines and, causing outages. I'm like, just imagine if we had battery backups and solar cells on everyone's house.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't have these disruptions and we just keep going.
Exactly. Yeah.
But, people have asked me about working with their HOAs. Sometimes their HOAs don't allow it.
Yeah, that's my friend over there in your neck of the woods, over in Town Lake. He would love, because his roof is the right aspect. And he's got clear skies there, but they won't let him touch it.
Yeah. I reached out to, it took me a few days, but I actually was able to get around to talking to someone at corporate Target.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I go to the Target there in 92, probably more often than I should. But it seems like a great place to put a solar array up, right?
Pick one of these box stores, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Put it on your roof. Put it up for shade. I'd love to keep my car in the shade.
Yeah.
But essentially, they would have to make agreements with all different power companies. And they would have to assume the liability of those solar cells and such. I'm like, I realize that would be a problem, but it seems like we could overcome this.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And it just it would take some community willpower and probably some national willpower to get them to do this. But it seems like it'd be a big win for Target and us and the other big box stores to be able to do this.
They do that in Hawaii. Costco in Hawaii has a parking lot covered with solar panels, so everybody's car sits in the shade.
Yeah.
And there are solar panels all over the roof to counteract their air conditioning costs and all that kind of stuff. So, but it exists because the state of Hawaii is very pro, multiple energy sources because, well, it's an island. That's a big part of it. But it's just, even for us, it's a smart thing to do. I think that's very good.
Yeah. I mean, we've got other problems that are coming down the pipeline. Have y'all heard of Project Bunkhouse?
No.
Data center over in Bartow, going to be the second biggest data center in Georgia. It's going to be right here on our doorstep. And it's going to be drawing power from our homes and drawing water from Lake Allatoona.
And that's in Bartow County.
Yes.
I cannot believe I didn't know about that because that people are underestimating by a large factor how much that's going to affect us.
I mean, I hear about from news reports all over Georgia about how it's, giving EM emissions and messing with people. It's ruining water quality. It's jacking up people's power bills all over the place.
Well, and there's also increased noise pollution. Those things are loud.
Yeah.
They're not soft. So...
where are they thinking of putting a data center?
It's not clear if there's going to be any planned data centers in Cherokee. But I've reached out to a friend at Google who says, they are just looking all over Atlanta because they love the climate. They love the fact that there's still cheap power, there's still cheap land, and there's access to talent.
Yeah.
And so if they can make something work here in Cherokee, dollars to donuts feel like they would probably try something too.
Yeah, the one he was talking about initially was in Bartow.
In Bartow.
Yeah. So, and I'm not anti-technology, but, it's like you said, is it being done in such a way that takes all stakeholders into account?
Right.
It's got to be balanced out as to,
Right.
You use all the money to pull out of the community, whether it's the cost of the water, the sewage, the infrastructure, all of that. That's got to be a balancing act between what it's going to do for the community and what you're taking out of the community.
Right.
And up to now, it seems like there's been none of the balancing act has been taken care of. They're just going in and picking out the area and just that's where they're going to put it, and then draw whatever they need to from the community in the way of water and resource.
The biggest resource is kind of like fracking.
Right.
The biggest resource that's going to impact us probably the most is water. Because they use a ton of water.
A ton of water, yes. And
when you look at a map of Allatoona, it looks like a big lake. People don't realize how shallow that sucker is.
Right.
There is not a lot of acre feet of water in that thing.
No, I've been on that lake a lot for scouts in my fishing and such too.
Yeah.
And there's definitely some cases, like especially when that water level drops during winter, you feel like you could just walk across the lake.
Oh yeah, it's just the Etowah River. I mean, the river that's the...
when they drain it during the wintertime, just look at how shallow. You want to know how shallow it is.
Oh yeah.
Go to the certain places.
I mountain bike around that lake on the shore of that lake all the time. So it's very obvious how shallow it is. Now you have a computer background, right?
Yes. I've got a degree in information systems, and I got the master's in business technology from Georgia.
Okay, fantastic.
And I spent 15 years with the Department of Defense down in Charleston.
Okay.
And before that, I was a Java developer for various entities.
Okay.
So
well, you got a lot of good chops for this position, man.
Yeah. And so I mean, leadership. I mean, if you want to talk about it too, leadership. One of my earliest memories of being a leader was when we moved to Hendersonville. My elementary school didn't have an AC in there, and it was
oh my gosh.
Yep. This was back in the early '90s, so it was still reasonable. But we were hot, and so I worked with. I stood up for my class, and I talked to the principal about allowing us to bring water bottles in.
Right.
And because of I worked with him, and he allowed it.
Yeah.
One of the first things I remember, like, hey, this isn't so bad.
Yeah. You talk to the right people. You figure out a plan. You make it happen.
Yeah. Yes, with my Eagle Scout project, that ended up taking. To be honest, I did mess up. It was a 1/4-mile trail.
Right.
I was trying to do it in winter.
Oh, okay.
And so when I got the loads of pine chips from the power company, they all froze overnight. And so we would be out there every weekend scraping off the top 2 or 3 inches because the rest of it would just be in the permafrost.
Right. Yeah.
But we did get it done just in time for the event.
Yep.
And that got me my Eagle, and I got the Prudential Spirit of the Community Award for it.
Okay, that is fantastic.
So I've done a lot.
Well, and I've never been on a project where everything went as expected.
No, definitely not.
There's always hiccups.
Oh,
it's not that you didn't plan for things. It's just you didn't know that was going to happen.
Absolutely.
You plan for the best, and when hiccups happen, you just You got to be flexible and
There's
be creative.
There's a thing called Murphy's Law.
Oh, yeah.
If something's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong. You can only plan for so much, and then something's coming along.
My favorite Murphy's axiom is: if it doesn't go, force it. If it breaks, it needed to be replaced anyway.
Right. Oh man,
don't break. If it's working, don't fix it. Right.
Yeah.
Bet you don't have the one that basically when it's non carborundum illigenti, loosely says don't let the bastards weigh you down.
Yeah, there you go.
The middle school version of that is don't let the turkeys get you down. So,
yep.
Well, is there anything you want to add about yourself or about what your goals are?
Sure. Since we're talking about laws and such, one of my life's rules is work now, play later.
Yep.
If we can put the work in now and stop these developers getting all these variances and get some developers in here that care about the environment and find ways to get jobs in the county and get infrastructure started. I've seen other counties do it. That they planned ahead and they got infrastructure in place before they started building. If they can do it, we can do it, right?
Heck yeah.
Right.
If we can work now, then we can play later.
Yeah.
And enjoy the fruits of our taxes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, just for the people at home, I mean, I actually write in a journal.
That's fantastic.
So I've got 42 rules to life because I'm a big Hitchhiker's Guide fan. So I really worked.
Oh, yeah, that's one of my favorites too. That's
definitely
awesome book.
A stress reliever for me, just to work out the emotions, I guess you'd say. But,
what favors the prepared?
Yeah, I try to teach the scouts that because a lot of the scouts have different presentations they have to do.
Right.
And you can definitely tell the ones who tried and worked ahead of time to be prepared
versus winging it.
Yeah, I mean, for their credit, they see me and the other scoutmasters wing it, but we only wing it because we've done it for so long.
That's
and
right.
We tried to pass that along, saying, we can teach this first aid stuff because we've been doing it for 22 years.
Yeah.
I teach sitting in the community.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that for 6 years now.
Right.
And it's like the reason why I'm so good at my presentation is that I've done it at least once a year for 6 years.
Yeah. Well, and this happens to everyone who does that kind of stuff regularly. Is when you become expert enough and competent enough, you can organize that stuff in your head on the fly.
Yeah.
But you have to have that body of experience and knowledge and practice in order to do that.
Exactly.
So that's a perfect lesson to teach them for sure.
Yeah, and once scouts kind of realize, they start to take those first steps to being a young adult too.
Yeah.
And that's really gratifying. Though.
Yeah. And I used to tell my students too, I said, you're smarter than me. You have better IQ than me, I can almost guarantee you. I said, I just have 25 years of experience. So,
exactly.
And I said, I think that's a really, really great lesson. And it's important for us to know that as voters, because when we look at, there's been such a backlash against expertise.
Yeah.
And that we're seeing the effects of that in all of our communities.
Yeah.
In that some of the ways that you're talking about, and how are we allocating resources? Are we doing it smartly? Are we talking about the right things? Do we have experts involved that can help guide us?
Yeah.
And
we can look at just the reverse of that. All we got to do.
Oh yeah, we're living that.
We're
right
living
now.
it.
Yeah.
We're living it exactly that.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of people that haven't got experience or the knowledge in a lot of cases. Knowledge and experience. There's nobody up there that has that.
Yeah, they just got vibes.
And we're suffering because of it. So that's the negative, but so to have that is a positive, and that's something that you do.
And I think that's a good point. So
yeah, for all the good Google has done, this has definitely been a backlash, because when you ask people like, hey, what did you research? You go through the Google history through them, and they look up stuff that already is in their confirmation bias.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's like you can't learn this way if you're just going to reiterate the same thing you just said.
Oh yeah.
You have to ask the questions.
Yeah. And going back to that, when we train kids to do research, a Google reference is not a reference. The reference is the actual article that the information came from.
Right.
And a lot of people don't bother to drill down that far.
No.
And
that is a major problem in today, and that's going to get worse.
Mm-hmm.
People not drilling down into, the real information. They're just going to take it off of.
Well, the accurate sources.
AI
I mean,
making it worse.
Is it a reliable source, or is it just somebody's random opinion based on this very not so important paper that was done or whatever? Anti-vaxxers are famous for that, but
everyone should take a class in statistics.
Oh yeah, statistics and research.
Yes.
How to do proper research and how to recognize basic statistics. And I told my kids when they were growing up and going through early math, I'm like, ratios, proportions, and decimals. That's what you really got to know.
Yeah.
Anything beyond that is not what you need to be an adult, but if you're in a specialty field, you got to know it.
Yeah. And sample size.
Well, that is really important. That's the research component.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, n equals 1. That's not a sample.
That is not a sample. So that's a highly biased opinion at that point.
Stephen, question: is the present commissioner for that district an incumbent? Is he or she running again?
Yes, it's currently District 4 is run by Corey Ragsdale.
So the last thing we want you to do is give a little plug for yourself and tell the voters what's the geographical range of your district like.
Sure.
What are the boundaries of it?
Yeah, District 4 is roughly about half a mile east of Main Street, up to Costco, over to the lake, and then down to Ackworth.
Okay.
So that's basically southwest Cherokee County. Town Lake, Ackworth, the lakes, and different communities down in there. What else is in there? Most of, I think about half of Woodstock proper is actually in District 4.
Looking at the map, but about half of Woodstock,
Right.
Does the southern part of Canton pick up into your territory, do you?
No.
No.
The cutoff is there at Costco.
Okay.
Or the mills right there.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Because Canton comes all the way down to Sixes.
Okay.
Sixes and Bells Ferry.
Yeah.
That's Canton, which most
Right.
people don't equate that to unless they got somebody.
Yeah, it's where Main Street turns into Holly Springs.
Yeah, on the other end. That's
Park.
on the north side. Yeah.
Right. So, all right. One last thing you want to say?
Corey has had the benefit of living in a very nice house. If you look up his address, it's definitely different from mine. If you want to take a gander, and I feel like he and the other commissioners have kind of stopped listening to us.
Right.
It's just one of the.
We're the rabble.
Yeah. And I'm just like.
Those are my words, not his, by the way.
But it's already been pretty easy. I've had. I think 13 people throughout the community already reach out to me, ask me to do lunch with them.
Okay.
Or get a coffee with them. And
right.
I'm like, yeah, let's work it out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I haven't been able to get any of the commissioners to do this with me.
Right.
And I'm just like, I'm kind of flabbergasted. I'm like, if I'm going to be serving the community, I'm going to be there.
Right.
I mean, so if you're listening, please take time. I am a busy person, but I will get to you when I can.
Yeah. Good.
So don't think I'll be able to turn around tomorrow. I need like a week.
And there's a direct contact link for you,
yes.
for them to send you a message right on your webpage, right?
Yep, you can email me, you can call me.
Okay.
You can text me, you can DM me on Facebook and Instagram. My website is www.electstephenrogers.com.
Okay.
All my
and that's Stephen with a V or a PH?
V. I spelled it the right way. I spell it just like Captain America.
That's right. That's how you remember.
Yeah. And my social media handles are Elect Stephen Rogers, and so that's on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Okay. And
so you can look me up on there. You're welcome to chat with me there, and I'll do my best to contact you back as soon as I can.
Okay.
So far I've loved talking with people. Having a chance to go out and actually hear other perspectives has been great because I'm just one person. And I do a lot, but it's just like I encourage them. It's like if you want to make change, you got to get involved.
Yep. And you can't meet the needs of the people if you don't talk to the people.
Right. So that's part to my listeners at home. That's the biggest thing. If you want to see change, you got to get involved.
Yeah.
I realize that's going to fall on some deaf ears and like, oh, yeah.
Well, some people are just working too hard to feed their families and keep a roof over their house.
That's true too, and that's what.
Yeah. But if you got time, it's like the old saying goes: you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Yep.
Yeah. And boy, do we have a lot of cleaning to do.
Yeah. Send your calls in, send your emails in, sign that petition. I mean, I've seen that at the commission level already. Or people have sent in, like some petitions where they've signed it. Make sure you put your name, number, and address on there so they can verify that you are resident and you are affected of it and such, so they can understand better. And it all comes down to communication.
Yep.
You got to talk to them. You got to
communication and involvement.
As we say, there's no more time to stand on the sidelines. You got to get involved.
Yeah.
You got to do something.
Yeah, we all got work to do to help our democracy move forward.
And it's something. There's no excuse. In fact, I was watching one of the. Talk to your neighbor. If you do nothing more than just talk to your neighbor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, reach out to a candidate, a local candidate, and say, "How can I help?"
Or ask, "What can I do?"
Yep.
There's you got to do something.
Well, Stephen, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah.
Okay. We really enjoyed meeting you and talking to you. So hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Yeah. I look forward to coming back as Commissioner of District 4.
We will have you anytime. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
we definitely need to get a lot of our candidates who are running back when we start getting closer to November. So that just remind people. People need to be reminded.
Yep.
They'll hear you now, and then they'll go do something else and forget.
Well, or they haven't heard you, and they chop into our feed, and they hear you for the first time in July. I mean,
we will.
That's good.
We're definitely going to, make sure that the invitation stays out there and. We'll work the schedule somehow or another to get you in.
Indeed.
Sounds good.
All right, everybody.
Okay.
Everyone be safe out there. Watch out for mud puddles, rain puddles. Make sure you have good tires and brakes. So we love you all like compatriots. Bye-bye.
Did I not say?